Okay, let's go.
Welcome to the Explainer. Everyone always asks, what separates the tiny fraction of traders who succeed from the vast majority who lose money? And let me tell you, it's not some secret indicator. It's all about psychology. Today, we're going to go on a journey from being a normal trader who's driven by gut feelings and emotions to becoming a smart trader who operates with a rock-solid plan. This question. This is the one that keeps every trader up at night, isn't it? When is it finally going to click for me? It doesn't matter if you're just starting out or if you've been doing this for years, we've all asked it. But the answer, and this is crucial, it's not about finding the perfect strategy. It really starts with understanding who you are as a trader, right here, right now. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to hold up a mirror and figure out where you fit in with the 4 trader archetypes. Then, we'll build the 3 pillars of success: patience, psychology, and discipline. And finally, we'll learn how to spot and escape those nasty emotional traps that can absolutely wreck an account in a single day. Okay, everything starts with a little self-awareness. You see, most traders fall into one of 4 specific categories. And as we go through these, I want you to be totally brutally honest with yourself. Because figuring out where you are right now, well, that's the first real step you have to take before anything else can change. Now, zero in on that learning style column, because this right here is where the entire game is won or lost. See, the first 3 types, they're just stuck in a loop. They're either ignoring information, repeating the same dumb mistakes, or learning everything the hard, expensive way. But the smart trader, they break that cycle. They put their growth on hyperspeed by learning from everyone's mistakes, not just their own. And that is the shortcut to consistency. All right, let's talk about the first foundational skill that every single smart trader has to master. And no, it's not about fancy charts or indicators. It's about mastering the art of doing nothing. It's about learning how to wait for the market to come to you. Look, I know this sounds like some cheesy motivational poster, but in trading, it is a hard, cold fact. It's the rule that directly protects your trading account. Being impatient is literally the most expensive mistake you can possibly make. And this just nails the 2 different realities, doesn't it? On one side, you've got a trader who's fighting the market, totally stressed out, and just bleeding money. On the other side, you have a trader who just lets the perfect setups come to them. One approach is a chaotic battle. The other is a calm, strategic hunt. And guess what? The hunter trades way less, but profits way more. So how in the world do we build this patience muscle? We do it with a set of rules that you can't break, ever. Think of these less as guidelines and more like a circuit breaker for your emotions. By setting strict limits on how often you trade and exactly what you do after a win or a loss, you start to remove all that destructive impulse from your decision-making. Okay, once patience becomes your go-to move, we can level up. It's time to dig into the psychological game, because trading isn't just you against the charts. It's you against thousands of other traders. And most importantly, the real battle is the one happening right between your ears. If you strip everything else away, this is all the market really is. It's not just random lines going up and down. It's a constant dynamic struggle between the psychology of the bulls and the bears. The second you start seeing price action as a story of who's in control, the buyers or the sellers, your whole understanding of the market just clicks into place. To win that inner battle, you need a mental fortress. And these 6 pillars, they're the foundation. But this isn't just a simple checklist you look at once. It's a daily commitment. It's about actively choosing logic over emotion, discipline over impulse, and having what I call confident humility, the ability to accept when you're wrong. Without these, any strategy you have is just built on quicksand. Hey, remember that smart trader we talked about? They learn from others, but a smart listener takes it a step further. They don't just blindly follow some guru on the internet. No way. They soak up all the information, but then they go and do the hard work. They test every single concept and every strategy to prove it for themselves before they even think about risking a single dollar. All right, let's take that psychological strength and turn it into real, concrete action. If psychology is your why, then discipline is your how. This part is all about building an unbreakable structure around your trading, like a personal constitution made of rules and risk management. This is where you literally write your own personal trading rulebook, and you have to follow it with absolute, non-negotiable strictness. These rules aren't just polite suggestions. They are the armor that protects you from your own worst impulses. You've got to remember, Professionals operate with rules, amateurs operate on feelings. This right here, this might be one of the biggest mental shifts any trader can make. Stop chasing profits. Instead, become obsessed with protecting your capital. When you make risk management your absolute number one job, profitability just becomes a natural result. It follows you. And now, we've come to the final piece of the puzzle, conquering those inner demons. We're going to name, identify, and then dismantle the two most destructive emotional traps in all of trading. If you can master these, you'll have eliminated the main reasons why people blow up their accounts. Oh man, we have all been here. You know that feeling. That hot, searing frustration after you take a loss, and that burning need to jump right back in and win it back from the market. That's revenge trading. It's a decision made purely by your ego, not your brain, and it is a one-way ticket to disaster. And here it is, the death spiral in action. See, it's never just one bad trade that gets you. It's the emotional chain reaction that comes after. This is exactly how an entire account can be wiped out in a single afternoon. Just a cascade of terrible, impulsive decisions, each one worse than the last. The other inner demon is regret. You can think of it as FOMO's toxic cousin. You saw the move, you even called it, but you just didn't pull the trigger. And that feeling of regret is so painful that you end up chasing the trade, jumping in at the worst possible time, usually right when the smart money is getting out. The outcome is painful and, let's be honest, totally predictable. So what's the ultimate weapon against these inner demons? It's not just willpower, it's data. A trading journal acts like a mirror to your trading soul. By tracking not just your setups, but your actual emotional state during every single trade, you make your bad habits visible. And once you can see them clearly, you can finally start to fix them. And there you have it. That's the map. You start by figuring out which archetype you are. Then you build a solid foundation on those three pillars: patience, psychology, and discipline. And finally, you learn to see those emotional traps coming and just sidestep them. This isn't just another strategy. It's the actual blueprint for changing your entire trading career. But here's the thing. Becoming a smart trader isn't the final destination. It's really just the foundation. Once you've finally mastered your own psychology, the next level is learning how to capitalize on the predictable psychological mistakes that other traders make. So are you ready to learn about trap trading and make that leap from being a smart trader to a pro trader?